Alright, this is lesson 75, minimum or maximum. We're continuing on the topic of quadratics. Remember, I have linear, quadratic, cubic, remember that whole thing? Okay? We've been solving through finding. Yes, sir? You have a question?
Ask after.
What?
Ask after, it's not important.
Oh, okay. Quadratic and so forth, okay? And so remember, when we have quadratic equations, they either look like this, okay, when A is positive, right, and the vertex is down here, right, so this is H and K, this is the vertex point, okay, or it could look like this, where the vertex is all the way up here, and this is H and K, okay. So when we look at both of these graphs, what we're doing today is we're figuring out what's the minimum point, what's the minimum amount it goes to, right? So this one has a minimum, right? The graph will only be as low as here, right? Does that make sense? Or this one has a maximum, it only gets as high as this point, right? So the question is, what is this, okay? And there's a line, we're asking ourselves, how low does it get? We might, in real life, we might ask ourselves, how low does this ocean go, right? What is the minimum amount, or the minimum amount the ocean goes in below surface, right? Does that make sense? Or you might say, how high is this mountain peak? What's the highest altitude? What's its maximum amount? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the goal today on a graph. That's what we're going to be finding. Here are the steps for today. You have these written down. If you're on the video, you need to write these down. Pause the video. Here we go. Numbers 1 and 2. Okay. Yes, sir. Alright, so number 1, we have state the minimum or maximum. So on this one, I want to figure out, first thing is what's H and K. So remember yesterday, this is vertex form. Remember, this is a different way to write it. We learned that yesterday. So H is down here. We know H is going to be X minus H plus K. If that's the case, then H is going to be equal to 4. And K here, since it says minus 4, our K is negative 4. Okay, so we already know those. That's easy, right? So H and K is 4 and negative 4. So we need to figure out what A is. A in this case is right in the front here. There's no number up here, right? Because remember, the vertex 4 should have a number here. When there's no number there, what should we assume that's right here? What do we assume is there? What coefficient?
1.
1. A positive or negative 1? Positive 1. So since A is 1, we know that the quadratic should open up, right? From the beginning of the year, remember that? So since A is positive, we're going to have a minimum. Therefore, we would write minimum is equal to, minimum is y is equal to, and then we take K, in this case K is negative 4. And that's your answer. You would write that. It has a minimum at y is equal to negative 4. Okay? Does that make sense so far? So what did I just do? Again, this is already in vertex form, so I identified H and K. I didn't have to calculate anything. That was nice, right? So I know H is 4, K is negative 4. Figured out what A is. A is positive 1, therefore I know it opens up. Therefore it'll have a minimum, right? At y is equal to, and then you just copy K down here. Okay, that's number 1. Watch me do number 2 now. Number 2 now, we don't know what H and K is, so we have to do what we did yesterday to find H and K. So A is equal to negative 1, B is equal to 6, C is equal to negative 8. So we start with finding H. H is equal to negative B over 2A. So we know B is equal to 6, so it's going to be negative 6 over 2 times negative 1. Okay, so we have negative 6 over negative 2. Negative 6 divided by negative 2 is 3. Okay, so that's our H. Okay, K, we plug it back in. So K is going to be equal to negative x squared. So it's going to be negative 3 squared plus 6 times 3, all minus 8. Okay, so 3 squared is 9. With a negative sign, it's negative 9. 6 times 3 is positive 18 minus 8. Negative 9 plus 18 is 9. 9 minus 8 is going to be positive 1. Okay, so that's our K is equal to 1. So just like before, now we know what our H and K is. we don't have to write the vertex form. What are the directions saying? Find the minimum or maximum, right? So I don't need to do vertex form on this one. So I go here and I say, what's A? We said A is equal to negative, which means it opens down, right? So that means there's going to be a maximum. So we're going to write down maximum. Right, because we know that the graph will look like this, where there's going to be a maximum. And y is going to be equal to, we take k, 1. And that's it. That's your answer. On this first one, we knew it was a negative, which means it was good, or I'm sorry, a was equal to a positive one, so it's going to open up, so there would be a minimum. Okay? You don't have to draw the drawings. You can if you want to help you understand it, okay? But that's it. All right? Any questions on 1 or 2? Easier than yesterday? Yeah? Okay, good. So, okay, children, let's work on number 3. Oh, wait a minute, that wasn't correct. Number 3. There we go. Okay, so number 3, let's do this one together, okay? You're following along with me. You're not talking. You're just writing as I go. Write the original problem down, number 3. And, of course, you always read the directions because it tells you what to do. Identify or state the minimum or maximum, okay? Okay, so on number 3, I see it's in vertex form. Yes, that's nice. I got to find h and k. I know h is right here, right? Since it says h is -1, or it says x minus h, we know h is equal to 1, okay? K is going to be right where it's supposed to be. It says -1 because this area should say +1, but it actually says -1, so we just copy -1 down here. Okay? Awesome. 2. We've identified that. Then we have to ask ourselves what A is. Well, there's no number in front of here, but there's a negative sign. When there's no number, we assume there's a 1 in front of it. So this is really like saying -1. So if A is equal to -1, I know that it opens down. So I would imagine in my brain that it's opening down, right? Therefore, there should be a maximum, right? So I'm going to write down maximum in my answer. And then I'm going to write y is equal to, and then I ask myself, what's k again? It is -1, okay? So, honestly, we don't even need to find h, right? Did I even need h in this problem? No, we just needed k, right? All right, does that make sense? Okay, now let's do the number 4 together. Number 4, write it down, and then turn to your neighbor and tell them what you would do first. Okay, everyone's turning to the neighbor. What would you do first on number 4, everyone? Write the equation out, right? Okay, so, well, we always write the equation out. What else would we do after? For this example, what would we do? Read the steps. What do we need to figure out? H and K. What's H equal to?
4.
Wrong.
-4.
-4, right? H is equal to -4, right? Because that parenthesis should say x minus the positive value. But since it says x plus, we have to think backwards, okay? That's the form. Look at yesterday's lesson. It'll make sense. Okay, and then we have k. What's k equal to, everyone? Good, -2. Turn to your neighbor. Tell them what you do next to find the minimum or maximum. Okay, what would you do next, everyone? What would you do next? Okay, good. So what is A equal to? No, what's A equal to? What number? 1. So is it open up or down?
Down.
Opens
Up. Sorry.
up. It's positive. It opens up. Okay, so does it have a minimum or maximum? Minimum. So we're going to write down minimum. Okay, turn to your neighbor, tell them what you would write down as the minimum. Y is equal to what? Okay, good. So y is equal to -2. There you go. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Yes or no? Raise your hand if it makes sense. Okay, good. Okay, now, of course, this is vertex form, but sometimes it won't be in vertex form. So let's go to the next one, number 5. Let's do this one together, okay? So just like yesterday, we're going to do a little bit of practice from yesterday and figure out H and K. We don't know it yet, so now we have to do what we did yesterday. So we're doing this one together. Follow along with me. Write down number 5, I'm sorry. We have 2x squared plus 4x minus 1. So we know A is equal to 2. This is what you would have done yesterday. B is equal to 4. C is equal to negative 1. Right? Then we have to find out what H and K are. You're writing along with us, right, Mitchell? So we have negative B over 2A. So we have negative 4 over 2 times 2. So it's like negative 4 over 4. What's negative 4 divided by 4, everyone? Negative 1. So we know that's our H, right? But we need to figure out K, so we have to plug it back in. So K is going to be equal to 2 times negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 minus 1. Okay? Negative 1 squared is equal to? What's negative 1 squared? Negative 1 times negative 1 is?
1.
1 times 2 is?
2.
2. So this becomes 2. What's 4 times negative 1? Negative 4. Good. Bring down the minus 1. Now let's work this out. What's 2 minus 4? Negative 2 minus 1 is? Negative 3. Okay? So that's our K. Good. Now, do we have to put it in vertex form today? Are we supposed to? No, we're not supposed to. We can if we want to at this point, but we're not going to. Because the directions say what? What do the directions say? Good. State the minimum or maximum. Okay, so now we're going to ask ourselves the next question. What's A? What's A equal to? 2. Is it open up or down? Up. Minimum or maximum?
Maximum.
Minimum. Okay. Minimum. Again, you're not writing things down, Mitchell. Next time I have to ask, you're staying for 5th period. Okay, so it's a minimum. Now we write y is equal to k. So we just go y is equal to, and we figured out k was negative 3, and we're all done. So we box our answer. Okay, does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's have you do number 6. It's a little different than number 5. Number 6 is one of those problems like number 5. Go. Okay, I'm going to work through this quickly. Number 6, you have A is equal to 2. B is equal to negative 4. C is equal to 4. Start with figuring out H. H is going to be negative B over 2A. So you plug it in negative B over 2A. We know it's going to be negative 4 all over 2 times A, which is 2 times 2. Negative 4 is positive 4 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So that's H. To figure out K, you just plug it back in. So we have 2 times x squared, or 2 times 1 squared, minus 4 times 1, plus 4. This is pretty straightforward. 1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4. We know negative 4 plus 4 cancels out because that's 0, right? Which is equal to 2, right? And then we're going to figure out what A is. A is equal to positive 2, therefore it opens up, so we know it's a minimum. So we're going to write down minimum. And we're going to state that the y is equal to k. K in this case is 2. Okay, that's it. Okay. Sounds a pretty simple and straightforward problem. That's how hard these will get, okay?